Welcome back, everyone. Another pre-show stream. It's Wednesday, so Jimmy's going to be on the show today. I've got some alien news and woo, ancient curses, hexes, vexes, amulets, and a whole lot more. And some kicking new tunes.
How dare you!
Okay, I'll be with you in just a moment, but oh, it's weird. It's wonderful. You know, our little family, our little tribe, our little community here around the channel. I see so many of you all on my travels now around the YouTubes. I see Bet and I see Bernays. And last night, bumped into them when my good friend, Dr. McCairn, went live. And I just had a little smile on my face. So we're all kind of gravitating towards the same sources, the same places. There's something cool about all this. Okay. 22 out there watching just now. That's enough to get any man going. How y'all doing? We're back, we're live, and it's going to be another good day today. Full of energy, full of beans. Jimmy Jeans coming onto the show. I didn't even mean to do that. Not mean as well, that worked too. Poet, didn't know it. We are back, we're live. Hope you're all having a good day out there. It's a good day here. The last time I looked, we could be on a really, really cool positive timeline. Because over my shoulder, I noticed that Scotland were drawing 1-1 with the Netherlands. I know, right? I know. Hey, listen, it could be a positive timeline shift, like I say. But how are you all doing out there today? You'll see in the chat room first. In the chat today was the Wookiee. Big shout out to you, sir. I'm very proud of you. And of course, the Wookiee is the man that encouraged all of the graphical madness that you see on your way in here. And you see behind you on the screen right now, or behind me on the screen right now. Because if you see yourself on the screen, we've got a problem. How would we say that? Houston, we have a problem. Yes, indeedy. Yes, I'll get quicker on the soundboard as it goes. I need a longer arm. Spider arm. Something like that. But we have the Wookiee in there. We've got ZX81. Jocelyn, all the way from Alaska. We've got Bernays and Bet. See, look, they even pair up in the chat room. Is there something you guys want to tell? Are we going to have like KBS love in the air? Imagine we had like a KBS marriage. We all have to descend on that, right? It'd be the craziest wedding ever. Even with my crazy eyeball movements, it'd be crazy, right? Crazy good. Who else we got kicking about in here? Lewis. I often bump into you on my travels as well, Lewis. And of course, you're a stalwart. Yep, over in the Discord. So good to see you, my man. Who else we got in here? We've got King. All rise. Yes, the King is in the house. Lewis again. And there he is, the man himself, the myth, the mystery. Today, the gardener, Jimmy Jeans. We'll be learning all about that later on today, because Jimmy will be my special guest. And how good was Nano Girl last night? Fantastic. And you're wondering, why are you laughing? Oh man, did I discover some of the some of the finest comedy gold today. And listen, I'm poking fun at myself here, but I uploaded a segment from last night's show with Nano Girl, and I used Premiere Pro. It's an Adobe program. And when I'm going to edit it, I was wanting to speed it up a bit, like we do on YouTube. You know, usually I speed up to 1.25 or maybe 1.5, but then it starts to get a bit too frantic. Well, Adobe does it a completely different way. And I swear, wait till you hear some of this. I'm going to play something right now. This here had me almost falling off the chair today. And two. So you ready? You ready for a bit of this? Stand by, because this gets really weird really quickly.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. A big shout out to everyone over at the TFR Live chatroom. That's tfrlive.com/chat. Big shout out to you all over there. Big shout out to everyone listening on the website. Remember, tell people on social media, if you've still got access to your social media, about the network, about the show, and let's take it to the next level. Yes.
Now, listen, that's okay, right? But wait till you get a load of this. Now, I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. Let's see. Oh, hang on, that was way too fast. One. Okay, hang on. We'll try that.
That's a story for another time, my social media adventures.
No, it's still too fast because I need to get it at the right speed before we get to something here.
What can I say? But today we're here with Nano Girl. And Nano, before we launch into some more absolutely riveting conversation, I'm kind of excited because the next time you come on the show, I've taken a little bit of the burden off you, a bit of the onus off you. And not only that, but we're going to get into some of our favourite types of topics, right? And it's not just going to be me and you, so let the audience know what we've got planned. We're going to be joined by very special guests.
No, I need to slow it down a bit more. It's going too fast. I wish I'd left it at the same speed I had it earlier on. One. No, that's not it. That might be it.
Jules, and she's one of the wonderful listeners for the Ken Baker Show. And it was her idea. She thought it might be interesting to put a list together of all our favorite sci-fi alien shows. We're going to focus on TV and movies about the aliens, like V, and one of my favorites is Alien Nation. And we're going to...
Still a bit too fast. Might be it.
do a review of them, especially from the point of view of programming. Like, I started thinking back on Alien Nation, and there is so much pre-programming for what's going on right now, it's not funny. Well, let me ask you, Nano, right? This is something I wrestle with all the time.
Listen, I can't get it exactly the way I had it earlier on today, because when I had it earlier on, it didn't sound like we were talking at 1,000,000 miles an hour, but it did sound like we had the helium thing going. Now, hang on. I need to try and get this sorted. It's disappointing me now. Oh, Jimmy, this does reverse speech in here. You would love this. You would absolutely love it. No. Let's see. Okay. No. Ah, what a bummer. Now I'm raging. Not that raging, but why doesn't it do that? Cancel. Anyway, folks. Anyway, I'll try and fix it, right? While we're doing our stuff, while we're doing here today. So I'll go through the chat room in a little bit. I see. Oh, who's that? Julian. I haven't seen Julian for a little while. Good to see him. Wanda, Zoe, Crystal, Bernays, Wookie, Shawnee. Yes, I will definitely try and get that fixed, because if I get it just the way I had it earlier, it'll be epic. And of course, it always goes wrong when you try and plan something out and do something. And now Jimmy's going to be thinking, if Kev's got a button there that does reverse speech, maybe we could get into some of that. No, we're not listening to me in reverse. Who knows what secrets I might give away. Let me ask the chat room, do you think there's something to that, folks? When you reverse the speech of somebody and you hear little things coming out. Me personally, my hearing's terrible on a good day. I usually have to have people interpret for me what they hear, and then all of a sudden I hear it, which kind of makes me a wee on the fence. But what do you think? Do you think we give away subconscious little secrets when we're kind of talking and we don't know about it? I don't know. It's quite interesting. One in the chat room if you think it's a thing. Two if it's not for you. We'll see what people say here. Bernays, we. Oh, yes, indeed. I'm really disappointed I can't fix that. I wish I could fix it now. Damn them. I need to wait for y'all in the chat room anyway, right? Because... Oh, no, hang on. Might be able to get it this way then. Okay.
What do you put the kind of ratio between deliberately things being put into shows, into scripts, or weigh that against somebody creative coming up with a storyline, and unbeknown to them, they're picking up on what they think.
Still too fast. Come on, man. I'm waiting for the chat room to go. Let me pull it down a little bit more. Whoa, Greg. For the cigar fund. I like it, dude. I think I've got it.
Imagination and a fictional tale, but really, we talk about the Akashic Records consciousness. So how much do you, what can you weigh at? 50-50, do you think it's more kind of shenanigans, or, do you think I'm way off the mark? No.
I need to slow it down because nano sounds absolutely fantastic if I get it just right, folks. Just right. Let's see.
I noticed that that's a very interesting question, because Matt from Quantum Consciousness brings that up all the time, constantly. And he said, well, I guess his thing is there's this giant sort of AI thing that sort of influences people, and then it sort of inserts itself in all these different places. I kind of liken it to maybe preconditioning.
For the cigar fund.
Thank you very much, Greg. Thank you very much. I think I've almost got it now, folks. I've almost got it. Hang on. That should be it.
Of you just sort of tap into something you want to write about, and case in point, someone you guys may not know too much about is Nora Roberts. She's a famous writer. She's a sci-fi writer. She does
Nearly.
trilogy. She does really interesting people. Sometimes she has fairies. Sometimes she just does regular family trilogies and stuff. Well,
Anyway, I'll stop playing with that, right? It was fascinating earlier on when I found it, okay? So I'm seeing an overwhelming, well, not an overwhelming, I'm seeing 3 1s and 1 2 in the chat room. There we go. So some people think it is. And I don't mean like the deliberate backmasking. I mean like just when you're talking like I'm talking now, and then you go and analyze it and listen to it going backwards, and you hear me saying Illuminati. And that's how it'll sound as well. Ooga booga stuff. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Crystal, what can I say? It was sounding even better earlier on. I'll get it fixed. Don't you worry, troops. I've got you covered. You know that. So let's get into some of the stuff we're going to talk about today. And of course, this is our pre-show chill-out stream. If you've got anything better to be doing, anything more productive, please, I encourage you to click out right now. Because this is where we kind of come along. We sit around our digital invisible campfire and the really, really, really rainy stuff that's going on over there. And then over my shoulder, you can see it's, well, you can't quite see, Speculation Ahead. Yes, we're on our way to Speculation Island. But you know sometimes how I talk about how I really, really get weirded out when people call what I do researching. Right? Well, sometimes when I do go digging for things, I really do find the weirdest of stuff comes up. Now, that's not me giving myself a big giant pat in the back, but there's been a lot of talk about aliens lately here on the channel, and that's because I'm fascinated with everything that's going on with the UFOs, the UAPs, the reports, the videos coming out. And naturally, I've gravitated towards that stuff, as have many other channels. Now, there's only so many ways you can talk about this one topic, and we've all got our own opinions, but I like to find something a little bit different. I like to offer you something that maybe you won't see on too many other streams. I don't know what it means, but it comes from that file of weirdness, like real weirdness. Now, we'll get to that in a moment. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment, because we are now in the month of June. And if you have just come back from a weekend excursion on Mars or Jupiter, let me tell you, well, probably longer than a weekend, probably a couple of years tour, you might have missed the news that the Congress are going to be getting a report on UFOs in the month of June. Now, it may be happening right now as I speak. I don't know, because I've been busy listening to me and Nano speaking at really crazy helium elevated voices. Okay, So maybe I've missed the bus. But let me catch you up on a few things before we get to this new weirdness. And it's weird. It's really weird. So let me bring us over here. Now, this comes from the other day. And we talk about Luis Elizondo a lot because he's a central figure in all of this. And this here's, in my opinion, an important part of the story because the whistleblower who spoke out on UFOs claims that the Pentagon tried to discredit him. Now, bear in mind, this is a guy who said that he headed up the ATIP program for the Pentagon, Luis Elizondo, and one of the major whistleblowers, or as I prefer to call him, I lean towards him being a spook. And even when you get into this court case, this kind of thing here, the whistle, because he's got lawyers and things he's lawyering up, you do find it was like a kind of program within the Pentagon for him to come forward to release this information. So it's not like we're saying that, or we're hypothesizing that he was working for the government at the same time as doing all this, okay? So it says a Pentagon whistleblower known for speaking out about UFOs is accusing his former agency of waging a disinformation campaign against him, a report says. And Luis Elizondo, who headed the Pentagon's new defunct Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program, lodged a complaint with the Defense Department's Inspector General claiming malicious activities, professional misconduct, and other offences at the agency. Now, he said one senior level official went so far as to threaten to tell people he was crazy, potentially jeopardising his security clearance. So it says, I responded by telling him that they can take any action he thinks is prudently necessary, but that I was not mentally impaired, nor have I ever violated my security oath. And again, that there proves that he was sanctioned by people higher up than him to be funneling that information through Tom DeLonge into the Stars Academy, right? So this is Elizondo wrote, adding he feared retribution by the official. Now, the complaint comes a month before a highly anticipated report on unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UAPs, is set to head before or land before Congress. Once a fringe talking point, unexplained objects in the sky are evolving far beyond science fiction to be viewed as real phenomena that could pose a national security threat. Now, I've always said this report will be used to justify a huge budget for the Space Force. That's one aspect of it. And it says, I want us to take it seriously and have a process to take it seriously. And that's from Senator Mark Rubio, 60 Minutes. Now, we talked about that on Warrior Mode, talked about that on the show before. And it says the Inspector General's office did not give political details on the status of Elizondo's complaint, though his legal team said he would be meeting with the Investigator General investigators in June. Now, his legal team, as I've explained before, it's the famous Daniel Sheehan, and he was working on Iran-Contra, and he also does work with Dr. Stephen Greer. Now, we watched the video, I think Sid had dropped it into Disco one day, where he claims he's trying to persuade Elizondo to tell the truth about everything. Whatever he knows, to hell with security clearance, come out, get it out in the open, right? So there's a whole lot of drama going on around all of the characters, all of the kerfuffle, as we know. It's the biggest, craziest, weirdest, most compelling crap show in town, right? And it takes our mind off other things that's going on out there. So it says several internet bloggers were notified that I had no duties regarding ATIP and that ATIP did not involve the study of UAPs. As a result, the bloggers began to disseminating reporting accusing me of being a fabricator, and I've been amongst them. If you would call me a blogger, I don't know. I've been called worse. Since retiring from the Pentagon, Elizondo has called for more government interest and resources to understand or around understanding UFOs. Leadership involvement was almost non-existent, he said, even as UAP reporting to our office was increasing. I became alarmed by the frequency and duration of UAP activity in and around controlled US airspace, he wrote in the complaint, and the instances seemed more provocative, and during one instance, they came within feet of a US fighter aircraft. So there's that, right? That's a bit of a backdrop, a bit of kind of deeper information on Elizondo, his claims. I've mentioned it before on the stream, but never really gone through the whole thing, and that's barely the whole thing. Okay, it's scraping the surface, but not a story I did find doing the rounds today. We're not going to do all of it, but this says US UFO report boldly goes where no one has gone before. And when I seen this headline today, and this is the only reason I've really got this one up, I thought the report must be out, because that reads like the report's out, right? US UFO report boldly goes where no one has gone before. It looks like they've read it, but turns out they haven't. But this is where it got a little bit weird. Because when I was looking for the latest UFO news, I came across a company called Leonardo. Leonardo, you say, I hope. Leonardo. And this is the weirdest thing ever. And when I started reading into this website, I thought, ha, Kev, you fool. You've misread or misinterpreted the meaning of a word in the headline. But as I read on, and I continued to read down further, no, it was as weird as I thought it was. Now, what am I talking about? Who's Leonardo and why is it weird? Well, I'm going to show you the website in a minute, but it says Leonardo 24/7 debuts an alien tracking capabilities ahead of government UFO report. Leonardo 24/7 debuts alien tracking capabilities ahead of government UFO report. And it was over in Business Wire. Take a look at this. As you can see, Leonardo, businesswire.com. Leonardo 24/7 debuts alien tracking capabilities ahead of a government UFO report. And then it goes on to say, multi-family real estate managers can be prepared for any encounter with Leonardo 24/7's automated operations and workflow software. So I'm thinking, real estate managers, encounters, software. So we go to Redondo Beach, California. Leonardo 24/7, the leader in remote monitoring of on-site multifamily operations, today announced its new alien tracking tools to cover virtually any situation for multifamily property owners in preparation for potential close encounters. The announcement comes ahead of the National UFO report that the Director of National Intelligence and Security of Defense are expected to publish later this month. Big bold letters. Leonardo is all about managing operational risk and providing peace of mind that your teams can execute flawlessly even when presented with unfamiliar or uncommon processes. So I'm thinking, alien, have I like misinterpreted the meaning of that word? Are they talking about illegal aliens, housing estates, housing complexes? What's going on here? But it goes on. Leonardo 24/7's comprehensive property management inspection and workflow automation features can prepare multifamily real estate operators for any interplanetary situation, including workflows. Whether it is a UFO sighting or an all-out alien invasion, Leonardo 24/7 can create a process to collect incident data, create real-time reports, and minimize risk to property. Reporting. Leonardo 24/7 can provide real-time and reporting and visibility into any kind of on-site activity, streamlining communication regarding UFO sightings, recovered debris from crashed UFOs, and catalogue missing residents or employees that might have been abducted. I'm not making any of this up. Operational guidance from how to properly handle alien slime residue to summoning the National Guard to evacuate residents. Now, Leonardo 24/7 can provide guidelines on how to handle any sticky or slimy situation an apartment owner might encounter. Now, listen, folks, I haven't lost my mind. I get it. It's a novel, kind of gimmicky advertisement for their management software. You know, a bit of tongue-in-cheek stuff about, you know, the whole backdrop of the UFOs, the UAPs, all these videos coming out. And I get it. I'm leaning towards the side of it obviously being comedy. But it's weird all the same, right? You can see how it kind of weirded me out when I was kind of half laughing and half thinking, weirdness. But hey, I mean, we might be living in a world where we need this kind of infrastructure put in place, right? Who knows what the next 6 months holds in store for us, ladies and gents? Who knows? So it says, quote, alien invasion may not have been high on the list of potential risk factors for most apartments, but this demonstrates that there's no property operational concern on this planet or beyond that we can't solve with Leonardo 24/7, said Daniel Cummings, CEO of Leonardo 24/7. And Leonardo 24/7 is all about managing operational risk and providing peace of mind that your teams can execute flawlessly, even when presented with unfamiliar or uncommon processes. And the special UFO report will be submitted to Congress, dealing UFO data and intelligence analysis collected by the Office of Naval Intelligence, the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force, and the FBI. This information can identify any potential national security threats and how the government will be handling the mysterious flying objects. Leonardo is the first of its kind remote performance management software that streamlines operations for real estate managers by delivering daily tasks, workflows, and they have a website. They're a real company. But I just thought it was quite novel, quite fun, but at the same time quite weird when I was reading through it all. Because I don't know what all of this dodgy disclosures leading up to. You know, you can go right out into the world of sci-fi and go full fake alien invasions. I'm okay with that because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what they're building up to. I could go all the way to it being a genuine alien invasion. And whether they're all love and light, like Dr. Stephen Greer says, or whether they're all reptilians. Who knows? Who knows? I think the most important thing to be doing right now, and I've tried doing it myself, and I've been quite impressed with myself. I've got no preconceived ideas. I've got no expectations whatsoever. You know, everything from it's going to be absolutely nothing to it could be absolutely everything. But there's one weird company. I don't care what anyone says. That's weird. It was a weird ad. It was pretty cool at the same time, though. And I imagine whoever wrote it is probably one of us. He wants to believe. We're beyond that point, ladies and gentlemen. The question is it really them we're looking at when we're watching these videos? Or is it technology of our own? I'll be back in a minute. And we're going back to the ancient world. Some ancient woo on the way for all of you. Then Jimmy Jeans will be coming up on today's main show. And don't forget, if you want to go that step further and support yours truly, and a big thank you for Greg, the super chat earlier on. Much appreciated. You can become a member here. And the link for the member stream is up in the community posts. We've got a big join button here if you're new to the channel. Click subscribe, click like, and I'll be back in a moment. Don't go anywhere. Oh, it's confirmed. It's confirmed. We're on a different timeline. Scotland are now beating the Netherlands. Interesting. Big shout out to Jungle Hip, Karen, Polly, Donny. Good to see you all. Cassie, Kristen, Timothy, Crystal, Phoebe, Brassneck. Yes, indeedy. Greg, thank you again, brother. I'll put it to the haggis fund, man. The haggis. Gotta have a bit of haggis. Shout out to Faith as well. Yes, indeed. Gherkins are in the house. Yes, we love a bit of gherkins around here. So we're having some alien woo today. We've had a bit of that. The weirdest company advert I've ever seen for software, but funny all the same. Yes, get your alien response management software from Leonardo 24/7, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm not paid to say that. That's literally their ad. But now we're going back in time to the ancient world, and something different today. Ancient curses, hexes, vexes, chicken bones. We've also got spells, and the all-seeing
evil eye, the Illuminati.
No, not quite the Illuminati. Not yet. Not yet. However, some pretty cool stuff. Let's get into the ancient woo, and I think this is a really good way to warm up for Jimmy Jeans coming on, because remember, Jimmy comes to us live from a wizard's cupboard in a dimension just out of reach of our own. That's where he comes from, folks. It's no laughing matter. That's a pretty monumental thing when you actually factor it into everything else going on in the world right now. But here you go, look at this. A magical jar holding dismembered chicken used as a curse in ancient Athens. Who knew? Look at it sitting there, causing cursey type things to be happening for hundreds of years, I'd imagine. Thousands of years, look. A 2,300-year-old ceramic jar filled with the bones of dismembered chickens was likely part of an ancient curse to paralyze and kill 55 people in ancient Athens, archaeologists say. Now, I like that, right? Because you see that there was likely, right? Likely part. So they're not too sure. But then they get really specific about it, don't they? I mean, don't choose 50, 40, no, 55. It's like that. How can you be like unsure of that? But you definitely know there was bad juju going on. Maybe that's it, right? So the finding reveals new evidence of how people tried to use magic in the city. Talking of magic, I've just started watching the TV show The Witcher. There's a bit of jiggery-jaggery and magical stuff going on in that, let me tell you. Very good, very entertaining. Only a couple episodes in, but I'm liking it. So it says they discovered the jar, along with a coin, beneath the floor of Agora's classic commercial building, which was used by ancient craftspeople. The plot, or not the plot, there's always a plot, ladies and gentlemen, everyone's got a plot. The pot contained the dismembered head and lower limbs, see, chicken legs, of a young chicken. Jessica Lamont, a classic professor at Yale University, wrote in an article published in a journal called Hesperia. Very interesting name for a journal, not one I read myself on occasion, but hey, at the time around 300 BC, the people who made the curse also gouged a large iron nail through the vessel. They meant business, didn't they? It says all exterior surfaces of the jar were originally covered with text. It once carried over 55 inscribed names, dozens of which now survive only as scattered floating letters or faint stylus strokes, Lamont wrote, noting that the Greek writing contains the words that mean we bind. Whoa. So the nail and chicken parts were likely played a role in the curse. Nails are commonly found with ancient curses and, quote, had an inhibiting force and symbolically immobilized or restrained the faculties of the curse's victims, Lamont wrote. Is that what they're going to find at the bottom of the money pit on Oak Island? Is it going to be an old wooden kind of crate with a kind of container in it? You know, some kind of amulet or something with chicken bones. Once they get that out of there, they'll be fine. Everything will be okay. The chicken was no older than 7 months when it passed. The people who created the curse may have wanted to transfer the chick's helplessness and inability to protect itself to the people whose names are inscribed on the jar, Lamont wrote. The presence of the chicken's head and lower legs in the jar suggests that by twisting off and piercing the head and lower legs of the chicken, the curse composers sought to incapacitate those or incapacitate the use of the same body parts in their victims. Fascinating. What do you have to do? What kind of sin did you commit against somebody for them to go to the length of making this ceramic jar and inscribing the names and nasty with chickens and nails and I mean what the mind boggles, right? I mean, was there a little bit of infidelity, shall we say? Did somebody stray and for that, wow, a whole village cursed? Pretty grim stuff. Interesting. Oh, to go back, yes. Now, Bet's talking about KFS. Now, KFS for me is knife, fork, spoon, but I am KBS, I think. Unless we're on that other timeline where I could be KFS right now. That would be bizarre. Imagine waking up one day finding out your name was different. It's either some hocus pocus with the timeline or senile dementia. One of the two. So it says the ritual assemblage. What a great word. Oh, I need to steal that one. Assemblage. Yes, belongs to the realm of Athenian binding curses and aims to bind or inhibit the physical or cognitive faculties of the named individuals, Lamont wrote. I don't want any of you out there working magic with chicken bones trying to make me sound all crazy and maybe start making chicken noises on air or something like that.
Illuminati.
Don't be doing it. So the jar was placed near several burned pyres that contained animal elements. This was a right kind of concoction that was going on. I'm picturing cauldrons and broomsticks and Clintons and something that may have enhanced the curse's power, according to Lamont. Why was the curse created? The style of the handwriting on the jar suggests that at least 2 individuals wrote the names on the jar, Lamont said. It was certainly composed by persons, nice, with good knowledge of how to cast a powerful curse, Lamont said, or Lamont told Live Science in an email. So why they went to the trouble of creating such an elaborate curse is not certain, but it may have been related to a legal case. Oh boy. Somebody lost in the court, took the hump, couldn't take it. The sheer number of names makes an impending lawsuit one most likely scenario. How do you make that jump and leap? What do they teach you in archaeological college and university? That when you see 55 names grouped together, you automatically think, well, that must have been a lawsuit. What? I don't. Somebody felt really wronged. That's what I'm thinking. It could have just been a crazy person as well. We don't need the whole kind of the lawsuit theory. But we read on. Noting that the curse composers might cite all imaginable opponents in their maledictions, including the witnesses, families, and supporters of the opposition. Trials were common at the time in Athens. So was a lot of things, and galvanized a lot of the public, according to Lamont. The jar's location, a building used by craftspeople, suggests that the lawsuit may have involved a workplace dispute. Oh, come on, man. Really? The curse would have been created by a craftsperson.
Excuse me, it's man.
Oh, come on. I used the very generic person working in the industrial building itself, perhaps in the lead up to a trial concerning an inter-workplace conflict, Lamont wrote. Another possibility is that the curse related to the strife in Athens around 2,300 years ago. Now we're getting going. This sounds a bit more kind of meat on the bones. Not the chicken bones, because they're like thousands of years old. But, you know, after Alexander the Great passed in 323 BC, his empire collapsed and his generals and officials fought for power. Historical records show that several factions fought for control of Athens at that time. And it was a period plagued by war, siege, and shifting political alliances. Sounds a bit like the world today. Nothing new under the sun, eh? The curse jar. It's like a Dybbuk box, only it's not. It's a curse jar. Something completely different. The curse jar.
The curse jar
Was excavated in 2006 and recently analysed and deciphered by Lamont. Only one person. So it's just one person's interpretation into what could have been the most ancient. Oh, think of it. Oh, you know the people in Athens love their KFC, right? It could just have been a KFC. It might have been a promotional kind of earthwork container that it was in. The nail, I've got absolutely no idea. Maybe because you see how messy you get eating KFC, right? Maybe they used to do it a nail. I don't know. So we'll have that story. There's your first bit of ancient cursory and wookery and spookery. Jimmy Jeans will not be impressed with this at all. Jimmy could do far better than this with no chicken bones. No chickens would get harmed in Jimmy's magic. He's assured me, ladies and gents. I'll be back in a moment. One more story to go. We're staying in the ancient world.
and the evil eye. Exactly. Oh.
Exactly, Faith. Maybe it was literally a curse jar, like one you throw money in when you like say a bad word, when you say something like, something like that. You'd throw some money in. Only the guy had no money. He just had chicken. Exactly, Donnie. It could have been anything, right? Anything. One person's interpretation. We can all have our own opinions on what the mystery jar with chicken bones was. Chicken licking. Timothy says, I heard ancient aliens tasted just like chicken. Have you seen Georgie Tsoukalos lately? He looks like he's ate all the chicken. And ancient aliens. About 5 of his co-hosts. I'm only joking, Giorgio. But you've got a cracking set of hair, and you're actually starting to grow into your hair, man. I'm just saying, dude. I'm only using you as a bit of shtick. Don't hate on me, Giorgio. I get actual guests that have been on Ancient Aliens on. I should really shut my mouth or I'll not be getting any of them back again. But anyway, we're going to talk about the
evil eye and the Illuminati.
I've lost my mind. But look at that. That's an evil looking eye right there, right? And full disclosure, not read this. Didn't read the last one either. It was headline grabbing. It's our pre-show. It's what we do here. And remember, we just goof off, we have fun, we don't argue, we chill out, we leave our problems, our religion, our politics at the door, and we just go for it. We just warm up for the main show ahead. And yesterday's show with Nano Girl was epic stuff. What a conversation. I think we looked at maybe 4 of her slides. I felt terrible. But when I was listening back to it today, it was fantastic. Really good energy, really good dynamic. And of course, Nano will be back in a fortnight with one of our own. Jules from the chat room will be coming on with Nano. We'll be getting into V. And wait till you hear what Jules has got going on. Oh, it's going to be bar-raising stuff on the Kev Baker show. Oh, yes, and Charlie Robinson's back next week. And we've got the new guy coming on to talk about Star Wars. And it's all kicking off, right? Unless
The Illuminati
put a stop to my work. But I don't think they will. I don't think they really worry too much about me talking about chicken bones and aliens. That said, let's see. An ancient amulet for protection against the evil eye is found in Israel. Weird stuff going on in that part of the world today, is there not, eh? Shenanigans, an Iranian boat, boof, gone, sunk, on fire, and then before I come on the stream, a refinery on fire. You know, what one? Yep, you can take that, but when you start to see 2 things happening, if we see a 3rd thing happening, oh, by golly, the brown stuff's going to get really, really smelly and really, really real. But anyway, we might need the
ancient amulet.
I love that button though. No, I'm never going to stop using it. If you don't like it, tough. Ancient amulets generally fall into 2 categories. Those that protect against evil spirits, and those that call them, oh, evil spirit, you out there? I don't think it works like that, but you get me. The trick for archaeologists is hopefully not trying to interpret it, as we've just found there's problems. Is figuring out what kind you have before you find out the hard way. Fortunately for archaeologists at the Israel Antiquities Authority, the IAA, not to be mistaken with IIA, Interactive Internet Operations. This is the Israeli Antiquities Authority. That's a fine line. The 1,500-year-old amulet given to them by the family of a person who found it 40 years ago is one of the good kind. So the group of amulets, or this group of amulets, is sometimes called Solomon's Seal, or
Solomon's Seal.
And the rider is depicted overcoming the evil spirit. In this case, a female identified with the mythological figure Jello or Jailu, who threatens women and children and is associated with
the evil eye.
Perfect. The eye on the reverse is identifiable as the evil eye, being attacked and vanquished by various means. Nothing beats the vanquishing of anything. When you vanquish something, it like trumps beat. It goes beyond defeating it. Puts beating it into insignificance. You've vanquished it. Serious stuff, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you. The amulet was therefore probably used to guard against the evil eye, possibly to protect women and children. See, it gets awfully, they bestow this kind of thing, that they name and shame the demon in question, but then at the end they say that, well, we don't really know. Possibly it protects women and children, and maybe it was used to guard against that, but we don't know. Look, that's terrifying. Utterly terrifying. Imagine waking up next to that. Whoa! Dr. Eitan Klein, Deputy Director of the IAA's Antiquities Theft Prevention Unit, said in press release that the amulet was found 40 years ago in the village of Arbel in northern Israel on Mount Arbel near the Sea of Galilee. Good fishing there, I've heard. Arbel was established in 1949 by demobilized soldiers on the island and was depopulated after the 1948 Arab-Israeli War by one of its first residents, the late Tova Haviv. Shalom. It was a member of his family who demonstrated good citizenship and turned over the amulet to the IAA. You see, now I'm thinking this might actually, he might have concocted a story. Think about it. If this thing was really good and it protected you, why would you give it away? But I tell you what, if it was bad and it was bringing in
Ooga boogas.
you would try and give it away and you would probably tell the person, no, it's good, mate. It keeps you protected. Take my word for it. You'll be fine. And then, you get me? I think he's pulled a fast one. IAA, maybe he is maybe it's a crisis acting one. I don't know. The amulet, a pendant, pictured on both sides here. Are we ready to look at it? Whoa, could anything happen to us if we look at it? Well, let's look at it. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That looks like the gingerbread man, kind of, like shape of head. I'm sure it's not the gingerbread man. Yep. The
Evil eye.
What's the other side look like then? Okay. This looks like some tentacled entity. A horse's head. And like octopus legs. And somebody kind of riding on the back. Yep. That's what I'm getting from this. I don't know about any of you, but was that the other side? Oh, there's spaceships. But that looks like a spaceship, right? And you got the snakes, horsey looking thing here, and all the weird looking stuff. Pretty cool, eh? Pretty cool stuff, ladies and gentlemen. We're dealing with, I think it's a bona fide. I think this might be the deal. Whether it's right or not, I don't know. So the amulet or pendant is triangular. Oh, goodness me. That logo of mine behind me. Oh, word of warning to anyone out there. Don't try and be smart like me when you go and brand your channel if you're ever going to like start out on this crazy road. I thought a bit of tongue in cheek, I'll try and trigger some people along the way and I'll use the triangle. Because when I was waking up, it's one of the things you always heard about. The triangle, the
Illuminati triangle.
and they all see an eye, and I thought, well, if I take a triangular logo, people might take it the wrong way, and boy, did they. And listen, what happened after that is it should be internet lore, but it's not, because I'm not big enough and nobody's heard of me, and that's okay. That's okay. I can live with that. It's far better being a small channel with our little tribe. Trust me. It says, with one of the sides depicting a horse rider with a halo throwing a sphere at a female figure. It didn't look like a horse, to be honest with you. I get more of an octopusy type, like a kelpie. A shape-shifting thing that might have came out of a UFO. See? It says, the one God who conquers evil. Now, that probably does denote that it's probably a good one, right? Under the horse are the Greek letters IAWO appear, the equivalent of the Hebrew Yahweh, Yeshua, Yawaha. I can never say it, so you can see it there. The opposite side has an eye stabbed with arrows and surrounded by two lions, a snake, a scorpion, and a bird. The Greek inscriptions EIS S means one god. Dr. Klein believes the pendant was probably produced in Galilee or Lebanon. However, one other thing makes this amulet truly a unique find. Although scholars generally identify the wearers of such amulets as Christians or Gnostics, the fact that the amulet was found within a Jewish settlement containing a synagogue in the 5th, 6th centuries CE may indicate that even Jews of the period wore amulets of this type for protection against the
evil eye and demons.
and a unique mixture of protection against the evil eye of envy. The evil eye of envy. One of those ones. Felt a bit like Jay-Z there or Beyonce. No, having a bad day if I feel like Beyonce, but hey, man, I feel like a woman. So, and a unique mix of protection against the evil eye of envy and a Greek mythological female demon combined with the name of God of Israel. In Greek, oh, it's missing. There's a slender man, for goodness sake. This amulet blows away commonly held beliefs about the practices of the Jews in the 5th and 6th centuries. This is a truly monumental discovery. Let's hope the politics and the religious differences of today don't shut down the past, which can teach us so much about how we got here. And perhaps where we can get more amulets to protect us. I think with the way the world's going, amulets are going to come right back in vogue. They're going to be the thing to have. Because, I don't know, I remember, and I say this to Bill all the time, but only because I truly think it. When I first started working with Bill, I said to him, you know, he talked about the high strangeness. It would always get weirder and wackier the further we go towards whatever awaits us, right? And I used to say to him, so like the supernatural will become the natural and the paranormal will become the normal. Come on, look around the world, folks. Scotland are beating the Netherlands, are they? I think, no, 2-2. We drew 2-2 with them. It's still a different timeline. We've got Mandela effects. We've got time speeding up. We've got everything going on. We've got UFOs. We've got aliens. We've got wackadoodle craziness, right? Wackadoodle craziness going on. I think amulets might be the road to go down. Yes, we need to get Jimmy to imbue his magic into some amulets. Now I'm starting to sound like Simon Parks and grifting, and honestly, I'm not going to start selling magical amulets or chicken legs. If you ever catch me selling magical amulets, unicorn horns, or any other kind of stuff like that, you have got full permission to say that's it. He must have sold out to 77th Brigade. But it's Wednesday. I don't work for them on a Wednesday. Not on a Wednesday. I'm only joking. Jeez Louise. So what's going on in the chat room? Let's have a look. We'll get some tunes on. Boy, my tunes are getting worse, eh? What's this one? Oh, it's a bit chill. Bit of reggae. I like it. Wah, wah, wah. So what we got? What's happening in the chat room, folks? Humor, Christopher. Are you calling me humorous? If you have, you've made my day. If I can make one person smile a day. I'm not being funny though, although hopefully it would take being funny to make you laugh, and you're not just laughing at me for the sake of laughing at me. You know what I'm saying though, right? But that changes somebody's day. You might have just been watching something really, really dark and depressing, and now you're smiling away. Wow, where's all the poetry coming from? Yes, I'm basically drinking coffee for the next 5 minutes, folks. Well, I'll be here for another 5 minutes, so let's get on some Loch Ness. We'll reggae out to Loch Ness. Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I forgot to bring this up the other day. Oh, this is where we get our like synthesized didgeridoo, isn't it? Isn't it? I think it is. There it is, there it is, there it is. See? Drop the bass, man. Telling you, that's the music they would play on the Love Boat. If I was the captain of the Love Boat, and I forgot to talk about this the other day, 35 years ago, the Love Boat set sail for the final time. And I think I remember that day. Oh, what? I think I do. The Love Boat. I knew it was old, but I didn't think it was that old. And the second on from that, I didn't think I was getting that old. Damn, dude. If you can remember when the Love Boat set sail for the final time, ladies and gentlemen, you're in the club with me. Yes, indeed. They're Jimmy Jeans. Jimmy, I'm starting to sound like you. I've got music and stuff playing, man. You missed a bit of reggae going on too. So, what do they say, Jimmy? If you can't beat them, imitate them. It's the highest form of flattery, right? So I doff my cap to you in your wizard's closet in a dimension just out of reach of our own, while I'm under the data dome. Uh-oh. Whoa. What's all the rhyming about? What's going on there? Yes, Mick West is going to be on Dr. Brian Keaton's YouTube show in a couple of hours. That's correct. But me and Jimmy will be on the airwaves then, taking it to the next level. Yes, indeed. But some sad news. How weird and wonderful and wacky the Matrix is. Because near enough in the same week that the anniversary of the Love Boat setting sail for the final time, we also had this very tragic and sad news. Because Gavin MacLeod, star of the Love Boat and the Mary Tyler Moore Show, passed aged 90. Yes, indeed. The Love Boat. A throwback to a simpler time. A show that would never be aired today because it would absolutely trigger all of these woke maniacs out there. And I say I petition for the Love Show to come back in all its former glory. Yes, indeed. The Love Boat. Anyway, folks, what's happening in the chat room? Jimmy's in there. He's garnishing some of that serotonin, Jimmy, isn't it? Like beyond the dopamine, into the serotonin.
Serotonin.
So, see, I was almost about to carry on talking, sounding like that. I only funnel the demon or channel the demon, the inner demon for very short periods, folks. You got to know how to control that inner demon at times. But Jimmy's, he's in a unique kind of club here. Jimmy is in a club that contains Greta Thunberg. Get this, Greta Thunberg, ma'am, and Joe Biden. What club am I talking about? Well, obviously it's the Kev Soundboard Club.
Sarcophagi.
Exactly. You know, that tells you that should be a mark of respect to any man. And when you make it onto the soundboard, you know you're dealing with something a little bitty special at that point, right? Just a little bitty different. So there you go, Jimmy. That's my tribute to you today and all your wonderful wackiness. And I'll be heading on over to his wizard's cupboard very, very shortly. Very shortly indeed. Yes. Oh, Buzzicino has spoke, talking of poets. It's the KBS poet laureate himself, herself, itself. I don't know how you identify Buzz. Some woke me. To remain, oh, wait a minute. If your brain is ingrained from the gravy train, then refrain and retrain and relieve your pain. To remain truly sane, gotta find your lane to the plane where you gain freedom, break the chain. Whew. There you go. There you go. So if you want, you can clip that, do things to it, make me sound stupid. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Hey, you can't laugh at yourself. How dare I laugh at anyone else? And I love to laugh at other people. And listen, if you're missing me over on Twitter, hang on. I forgot to tell you this. Oh, by golly, couldn't believe it. Absolutely shocking shenanigans. Shocking, shocking, shocking. They've put me in Twitter jail. And you know, the only bad thing about it, it's one of the few times that my good friend Charlie Robinson isn't in the jail with me. But they did. Pesky buggers. We've temporarily limited some of your accounts. Now, you're probably thinking, well, what gross violation did Kev commit? What crime? What did he do? He's been thrown in the jail for a week. My tweet read, next time, well, I'll bring it up on the screen so you can see it. Next time, punch Sather out. That'd be the best thing that could happen to him. That's all I said. I was only offering advice to somebody that got filmed getting kicked out of a crazy conference. You know, a conference that was shouting about and championing free speech all day, only to then take away somebody's not even speech, just to be there because he thinks differently. And remember, Sather is the guy that went crying onto the internet because Ryan Gable dared to ask him questions at Contact in the Desert. He was crying on the internet about that. Remember that? And then here he was filming us laughing at this dude getting chucked out way worse than anything Ryan Gable did. And then all I done was offer Will Summer a little bit of advice on what I would probably do if I got within arm's reach of him. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I know you shouldn't bully people that take bleach up their I know. It shows that these people are a little bit insane. And it might be taking liberties to hit them. But man, oh man, oh man. Would I love to... Better not say it. Better not say it because I'm just a big, bad bully. Bully Woolly Kev. All 5'5" of me. I've got little man syndrome. I've got Napoleon syndrome. It's a thing. I'm just a big, bad bully on the internet. Jordan, man up, dude. I would love to see you. Oh, I'd love to see you one day, man. Oh, boy. We're living in an era when YouTubers fight, right? We've got some clown fighting, arguably, who used to be my favourite boxer. Floyd Mayweather used to be my favourite because these YouTubers fighting like boxers, it's just ridiculous. As a boxing fan, lifelong boxing fan, I just find it crazy that you got people that go to the sport and you never ever hear their names, but they've got a career in boxing. They don't get the big paychecks. They don't get the big shows, and they spend their life getting battered about. And then these clowns come along, and they can just go in there, and it makes a mockery of it all. It really does. But one day, Jordan, one day, if you would like to, I would really love to. I would entertain the thought of me and you anywhere. Doesn't need to be Vegas. It doesn't even need to be many people there. In fact, I don't care if anyone's not there. It can just be me and you. Yes, indeed. But hey, you never know in our timeline somewhere. So listen, folks, on that note, I am going to go and I'm going to get Jimmy Jeans and we're going to get ready for a cracking show. You can catch that over at the home of the Kev Baker Show, Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. The TFR gets carried by TalkStream Live. We're also on the Paranormal Radio app. And I just out of the goodness of my heart, because we've got our little safe space over on Discord, I pump it out there in full HD, cameras, the works, and the magic, wherever you are, whenever you are, however you tune in. Hope you can join me and Jimmy in 10 minutes from now. On that note, au revoir, good night, and I'll see you in 10 minutes. I'm not going to bed. Kev's going to bed. Dave's not.
Dave has entered the building.